What's up, guys? I'm Mostly Normal, and I found some strange TikTok videos that'll have you questioning your sanity. And with all that being said, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button so this video is recommended to others, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Let's get into the video.
Look at this guy. Here you go. Holy sh**. And that's why you don't f with buffalo.
I'm just saying, what did you expect to happen? You think he's just gonna pull up and pose with you for a picture? I'm not gonna lie, my friend, not the smartest idea.
Imagine waking up and finding a whole ass ship in your garden. And the story of how this happened is even more insane. So it's 5 a.m. in Trondheim, Norway, and a massive container ship crashes into this guy's back garden. But bro must be the heaviest sleeper on the planet because he didn't wake up once during the entire thing. In fact, his neighbor had to come over and wake him up and be like, hey man, you got a ship in your garden. Johan told the media that if it was 5 meters south, it would have entered his bedroom. So what caused this 135-meter container ship to crash? Well, no one knows yet. All 16 crew members were still on board and completely unharmed, so an investigation is underway. The CEO of the shipping company revealed that the same ship has run aground twice before, one in 2023 and again in 2024. Now, in 2025. Bro, who is steering this thing?
Tell me this doesn't remind you of the scene in the movie Leave the World Behind. And my guess is that the GPS probably went out on the ship, but I'm just saying, if you see yourself heading towards shore, shouldn't you kind of like not go that way? I don't know. We need a new captain.
This is crazy. Guys, this is crazy. Does anybody know what's happening? Do you guys know? Holy crap. Holy crap. It's like a light show. It's all over the place. This is out of control. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. What is happening? Am I going out of my mind or are all the stars moving? This is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing!
I'm gonna go ahead and say it might be drones doing that, but they're moving around like the mosquitoes. Someone in the comments said it's a Quidditch game.
Want to see something really scary and really dangerous? You definitely don't want to cool off in there, because if you do, you will cool off forever.
Is it me or does anybody else want to slide down that thing? Even though you shouldn't, or like he said, you'll be cooling off forever. But I do know why this is built. It's to help get water from one side of the mountain to the other.
Hey guys, traveling northbound I-25 towards Albuquerque, and state police are transporting what appears to be a UFO. Check it out. Only in New Mexico.
I can't verify if this is an actual UFO, but it is UFO shaped. But hey, if I was stuck behind these trucks, I would think it's a UFO too.
So did you guys hear about the Booga sphere that was discovered in the forest in Colombia? Or were you distracted by all the other headlines like I was? And they use AI to decode the language. Wait till you see what it says. So on Thursday, May 1st, Jose Velasquez is an X-ray specialist, and he did a series of X-rays on this. They claim that this fell after it received a 10,000 volt discharge. Now, they say they are 16 microspheres inside, and there are 3 layers of different densities. This is the most outer edge. So he is saying that that means they are different materials. So they say the dark-toned material is less dense, and they believe that it is possibly a porous material. Now, the people in Booga claim that this was flying around their town back in March, and that it actually was recovered back on March 2nd. And that when they touched it, it had the temperature of a refrigerator. Now, they counted 32 points around the edge. and that the materials used altogether for this seem to be different metals, but they have ruled out the fact that this is ornamental because they believe that the way it was built was to definitely house whatever is inside. It seems too intentional to be simply ornamental. Now, the X-ray expert says it appears to have no welds or joints and that this is absolutely different from anything he has ever studied in the past. But the guy who claims to have found it said that he was contacted by the government, but he refused to sign it over because it would never be seen again. So I'm guessing he just turned it over to a team of scientists, but they're saying even in the x-rays, there are no visible signs of any techniques by humans. So interpreting the text through AI, it says the origin of birth through union and energy in the cycle of transformation, meeting point of unity, expansion, and consciousness, individual consciousness. So what do you guys think?
Go! Go!
So that's what you do, huh? DoorDash driver got lost because their phone died and you decided to pull out a gun because they came to your house because your house was the only one in sight. What is wrong with you? Like, I don't understand. Like, what sets you off so much to where you had to shoot off 3 shots at this dude? Like, did you get intimidated by him asking right or left? I'm just saying, I hope they throw the whole book at this dude.
Corruption by surveillance, by a system that feeds on fear and division. You are told to hate your neighbor. You are told to trust the lies. You are told your voice is small. They have sold you the illusion of choice, while tightening the chains around your mind, your wallet, your future. But the time for silence is over. The world is cracking. The cracks are not breaking us. They are letting the light in. Wear the mask and look around where everyone is same. Wars waged in boardrooms. Justice bought and sold like stock. Nature bleeding under the weight of greed. Cities drowning. Forests burning. Children starving. All while billionaires buy their way to Mars. You are not powerless. You were born with a voice. Now is the time to use it. You were born with eyes. Now is the time to open them. We must unite, not just as citizens of nations, but as a species. There is no salvation coming from the top. Real change will not come from presidents or prime ministers. It will come from people like you, choosing to wake up, speak up, stand up. The systems are rotting. The world is wired, watched, and weaponized. But the power of the many has always outmatched the greed of the few. So here is your first step. Get a mask. Not to hide who you are, but to become who you must be and be proud to be everyone. This is not a moment. It is a movement. We are not here to ask. We are here to demand. A better world is not only possible, it is necessary. When everyone has a mask, they are compelled to not know who you are and cannot act against you and prompt
What the fuck?
Okay, if that is real, that is terrifying. And why would it just come through your phone randomly like that? And the reason why I kind of don't believe this is because when she was scrolling through her phone, she didn't hit a little button down here that can show the apps that are running in the background. So she could have been playing like a YouTube video or something.
Every night at 3:11 a.m., that light, the staircase light, flickers. Okay? It started happening a few nights ago after my uncle's funeral. So, on the first night, I told myself this is grief. On the second night, unscrewed the bulb. Third night, it flickered anyway. So, I decided to say, if you're still here, blink twice. It did. Now, I want to believe coincidence, but I kind of also want it to happen again, because I miss him, and my cat does too. And things just haven't really been the same, and it's just like... Okay, so last night I got a missed call, and this morning I saw that they left a voicemail. I'm gonna even show you, like, there. Okay, unknown voicemail. I'm gonna play for you what is in the voicemail. I don't know who it is. It's hard to hear, so I want to see if it gives me Anyway, listen.
First off, my condolences go out to your uncle. And I'm not gonna lie, I do believe when your loved ones passed away, their energy is still there. Hence why the light was flicking. I mean, obviously when she unscrewed it, it could have been just touching it up to where it was flickering, but I don't know, I kind of believe it.
Is this a moon portal, or I saved this clip a while ago for a video on cosmic fish that I did. This is the clip. I was clearing out my phone and I adjusted the settings, and look at what happens. And if you don't think we're under the waters above from the Bible, you can literally see waves of water going over the moon in like every telescope video. Look in the craters, you can see the water bubbling up in them and blinking. This is what stars actually look like in telescopes. You can tell they're definitely underwater, and look at these stars all around floating. This is bioluminescent water. I just don't know what to say anymore.
Stop for a sec. You see this photo, right? It's no ordinary photo, and it might have just showed us that our reality is a simulation. This picture was made entirely in the most unexpected way possible by this research student at UCL. And it's not just one. He's created dozens of pieces like this, some of them even looking pretty photorealistic. What makes them special is that they were made completely from math equations. What? How is that even possible? I'm sure you remember y equals mx plus b from high school, the formula for a basic line. If you square the x by adding this little 2 on top, it becomes a curved line or a parabola. Go a little bit more complicated, and this formula right here will plot out the shape of a heart. Well, it turns out if you add enough math to it, you can make virtually any shape and any drawing you can imagine with a formula. And that's exactly what he did. Then incorporating RGB into the equation allows you to assign any color to each individual pixel on the graph. With these formulas, you can literally create anything that exists or that doesn't even exist yet in our universe. And visuals are just the start. You can use similar mathematical equations to create sound waves. Every sound you hear has its own unique waveform. Get detailed enough with the equations and you could theoretically create any sound ever. Others have used similar formulas to create 3D shapes too, which again, if you get specific enough with your math, you can create any 3-dimensional object ever. Then combine a series of these math formula generated images in rapid succession to each other to produce videos, or what our eyes perceive as reality in motion. Even thoughts are just neurons and synapses firing in your brain and produce brainwaves too, which once again could theoretically be mapped to an equation, meaning all of reality, all that we see, hear, experience, and even think can be perfectly converted into math. A series of numbers and symbols. And we do observe math everywhere in the natural world around us, like in the golden ratio spirals, geometric patterns, and fractals. In theory, your entire life experience, everything you've ever seen and ever will see, hear, feel, and experience can be perfectly translated into a never-ending series of math equations. So what if all of reality doesn't actually exist as we perceive it, and is really just an endless stream of algebraic formulas that our eyes, ears, and brains continuously calculate into the sights, sounds, and thoughts that we experience on a daily basis? And if so, who wrote these formulas?
See, why wasn't I taught that in math class? If you would have told me I could draw a house with math, that's pretty cool. But after watching this, now I just feel like we live in a simulation.
A ship has just crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. Here's what you need to know. Videos posted online show a massive Mexican Navy sailing ship with 145-foot masts smash into the underside of New York's Brooklyn Bridge, while people on the ground start running away thinking it could crash into the walkways too. Its masts were sheared off, and to make things worse, there was 277 people on board at the time. And if you look closely, there was a number of sailors actually on the ship's masts at the time of impact, all lined up as a display holding hands. So when it hit, it was pretty devastating. 2 were killed because they had an over 100-foot fall, and 22 more were injured, with 19 of them having to be taken to hospital. Some insane pictures show after impact a bunch of them holding on literally for survival. Now, as you'd imagine, being New York, there was a huge response from emergency services, and the Brooklyn Bridge was closed down both ways for around 40 minutes. Now, you'll be glad to hear that this is believed to be an accident, with initial reports suggesting that the ship had a mechanical error and lost power. It was actually on its way to Iceland as part of a goodwill tour, but now is being forced to dock at a nearby pier, and all passengers have disembarked. Of course, as we know more, I'll keep you guys updated.
Is a new wave of technology getting ready to be released to the public? You're going to want to take a look at this video. An unidentified woman was filmed in San Francisco holding what appears to be a completely transparent smartphone. Literally. Now, there have been rumors online of this supposed transparent cell phone that'll soon be coming. But again, they have just been rumors. Have we finally seen this futuristic technology? Take a look at this video, comment below, and tell me what you think.
Open up and on it and scroll. So open up and on it and scroll.
So that lady that was holding that see-through smartphone, she actually made a video about this, and it's just a piece of acrylic. She mainly did it for like a social experiment to see how people would react to it if she did that in public. And to be honest, that is genius.
What is this random noise that was like in every song from 2000 to 2009 and just completely went away? It was like a Japanese game show noise. Weird thing is, it went from being in every song to like never hearing it again after 2010. Is this like in the 80s when they stopped using an electric piano in every song? But like, why did it abruptly stop? Like, did everyone use the same beat maker or something?
I do remember that being in a lot of early 2000 songs. But what I think everyone used it for was like a hook to grab you into the song, like how people do in the beginning of their videos. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I thought of. All right, guys, that's the end of today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching all the clips in today. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.